It's always welcome everybody to day 5 of our Wealth Creator Challenge. It's always bittersweet when I wake up on these Fridays when a challenge is over because I've been getting to spend time with new friends. We've been getting to share the genius of God's beautiful people in our guest speakers. And we were just talking, our team was talking about how it's amazing what can happen when you continue to have persistency and consistency. And I want to start by really just giving kudos and recognition to one of our coaches in particular, Jennifer O'Hare. And Jen did not know that I was going to do this to her, but we are all women coming, men and women. There's a few men in here. Is Patrick here today? Our new friend Patrick. Um, we have, we come from so many walks of life. We come from corporate America, like I did. We come from stay-at-home moms who never worked. We come from traveling entertainers and people in ministry and so many amazing walks of life. And the consistent thing that we all have is that we all have a heart for serving. We all have a heart. We tend to attract people that have a heart for Jesus as well and continuing the incredible mission that he has tasked us with. And we also have a heart for just our fellow people. One of the things that I love about what our mentor Pedro Adeo shares is there are so many people that are living in this world that haven't yet opened the beautiful abundance of blessings that God has given us. So many people that are living in kind of this hamster wheel of life, definitely below their what they're capable of. And we just love how we can meet people where sometimes they need to be met, which is helping them with their finances, and also share the love of Jesus at the same time. So, friends, it's such a blessing to meet with you and continue to seek God's wisdom in our finances together. We have some special news that my friend Dawnette's going to be sharing today. Dawnette, I'm excited for you to wrap up our week as we go into the weekend. But before we get pass the baton to Dawnette, I wanted to just share, some ideas with you about what you may be thinking about next. Okay. So, first of all, this week, really the intention of this week was a couple things. One is we wanted to help you get to know our community. We find that there's too many people kind of trying to do the solo route out there, right? Secondly, we wanted to help you personally feel empowered when it comes to your money, when it comes to your financial IQ. There's a lot of parents in our community. There's a lot of grandparents, and we know that they're not teaching our kids a whole bunch about how money works in school. And we want to really make sure that we do what our part is to create that change. We also have given you a taste and see of our Better Life Network, the various ways that you can add an income stream to your life and do that by leveraging. Leverage is one of my very, very favorite words. Leveraging the skills of others, leveraging the talents of others, the connection of others, what others have built. I find that entrepreneurs, they're so often trying to wear all the hats and do all the things and create all the programs. And sometimes the answer is right, looking you right in the face. And that is just simply to tap into what somebody has already created, right? And so we're so blessed to be able to share this platform with you. Some of you have been asking, well, what's next, Lisa? How do we continue, working with you? First of all, we can't wait for you to continue in whatever capacity that looks like. So we're going to share a couple ways that you can keep hanging out with us. First of all, we have our next workshop So make sure you write down, you add this to your calendar. The next one is the week of May 13th. We have another incredible lineup of speakers for you. And this is where I really want to give kudos to Jennifer, one of our coaches, because Jen, first of all, Jen is my dear friend. We've known each other for years through book club. I've seen her go from stay-at-home mom to getting back into the workforce when the boys were older and having a great career at the hospital that she works in. Um, and also recognizing that when this accident did happen, with her and Jim that you heard about earlier this week, that you know what, it triggered something in you, didn't it, Jen? It kind of activated something, right? And Jen she'd always known what I was doing, but she kind of started to get curious, and thinking, could I do something like that? Right. And Jen's a perfect example of what it looks like when you really have no idea what you're doing, but you trust that there is a plan and you just follow the system. Because Jen's been with us literally since the very first challenge of March of 2023. She's been consistent, she's been persistent. And guess what now? She is one of our most successful coaches. She is helping families every single week. And she's very, very close to getting the training wheels off and doing it herself. She's very close to being a trainer herself. So Jen, I'm just super proud of you, my dear. And I just want to just say thank you for trusting us. And I'm curious, do you have any thoughts or words of wisdom for others that might be thinking, how do I add this to my life? Do I really have what it takes,
Well, it is scary to try new things, but that's how we grow. And you're still helping me every step of the way. So you're not, I've had to step out of my comfort zone, but I haven't gotten in over my head. So,
yeah.
And if my goal is really to help people, so I have to put that ahead of being nervous about making a phone call and scheduling an appointment. So
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I love, I love how when we trust and when we sometimes trust without really understanding, because that's a big part of what we do when we're starting something new, right? Um, but it's amazing what God has been doing in your business, Jen, because I really believe it's putting your trust in God and in our system, because we do have a pretty fabulous system, right? Absolutely.
yes,
So congratulations, my dear. Keep
thank
up the
you.
good work. So friends, as we continue, join us next month. If you're new to our community, a lot of it doesn't always make sense the first month, but the good news is now you have a taste and see, and you'll know the challenges change every month because we have different speakers that come in that share their genius. We have different things that we're doing in our training, so we bring different tools and skills, and the Better platform continues to grow as well. So there's also different ways to create income in your life. We want to also help you build your community. Every one of us comes to also this community with our own community. Some people come in, they really don't have one, they're kind of loners. Maybe they don't even like people that much, quite frankly. I will say you probably should like people in order to be, really, really make a difference here. But if you have a desire to create some change in your life, if that mission of creating a tribe of seven-figure givers appeals to you, the reason we pick that is because we can help anyone make money. It's so much more fun when we get to help people generate more in their own lives for the prosperity of others, for the ability to give more generously. That's what really gets me excited. And that's one of the reasons we've chosen the field that we have chosen, financial services, because there is such a desperate need for raising families' financial IQ, for serving them We know that 99% of families are not being served in this industry, right? And don't forget your free gifts that you already have. So in your portal, you have access to some of the books that we recommend. The Power of Zero is just an incredible book that teaches people about how to truly retire tax-free. So many different tools that you can learn about in that book. I put a copy of my book in there. We have our top 10 tips for making money now. So make sure you take advantage of those offers. These are just what you have from our community. That does not even include all the amazing offers that our guest speakers have provided for you as well. So, it's so interesting when I sit down with, especially, I sit down a lot with coaches in our community for strategy calls, for help with their marketing. And it's so interesting. One of the exercises I have them do is I have them go through and make a list of the programs that they bought. The packages that they've bought, the summits they've participated in perhaps, and make a list and really ask them to be honest for themselves about what have they actually executed on in terms of what they've already bought, right? Because I find in the entrepreneurial space, unfortunately, we can get the bright, shiny object syndrome. Does anyone resonate with that? Has anyone ever, I don't know, maybe bought something they really didn't need at the time, or had somebody on the phone that just everything they said was everything you were seeking, and it had to be that magic thing that would change the trajectory. Patrick says, "Oh yeah, absolutely." I'm not proud of this story, friends, but I will tell you that during a not so good time in my life with my husband, I actually even hid some purchases from him that I bought. And this is a big thing that happens in our entrepreneurial space. It's another thing that I've seen time and time again that I believe the enemy uses to divide families. Because my husband was not too happy when he found out about these purchases, when I decided to tell him, right? And so I want to just encourage you all, do the homework from this week, make an assessment of where your money's going. Do that, make a list of what you've already purchased and ask yourself, have I been using the skills that God gave me to execute on what I already have, right? There's a reason that Jesus picked the disciples. They were already people that were the highest people that they could be in their profession. They were great fishermen. They were great tax people. They were already action takers, right? So remember that in order for God to trust us with more, we get to make sure that we're doing well with what we've been given already, right? And what we've taken action on in our purchases. I want to challenge you all to maybe this weekend go through and make an assessment for yourself of what you've done. And if you have packages, if you have programs that you haven't executed on, raise of hands for those of you that this would be a yes. I think every one of us should raise our hand. Okay. Imagine this. This is one of our accountability tasks that we're going to be doing next week, actually, in our Kingdom Wealth membership. We are going to look at what we've signed up for, and we're going to assess where are we right now. What is going to make the most sense for us to take action on today that will help us move the needle forward in our business? Okay. Every one of you, that's going to be a different answer, probably, right? So maybe there's some similar answers. So I challenge you, whether you are, having an opportunity to join us officially in our membership, or you do this on your own, give yourself this gift. Okay. Make sure you do that. So I want to also, just invite you to consider continuing your journey with us in our membership. God planted a very, very big dream in my heart to create this tribe of seven-figure givers. And it starts with helping our own families first. My heart it aches so much for the families that are being left behind financially. So many, say yes to, for example, the Better platform. They think, okay, this sounds like a good idea, right? And yet they don't do a lot with it, unfortunately. And yet some of the population, 10% of the population, are doing fabulous and are going to be getting these stock option certificates that we talked about earlier this week, right? So, if you're that person that has a need to have some support, if you've learned some new ways to build wealth, if you see the value of community and learning more about how to build your own community, if you've raised your own financial IQ, you feel like learning more could support you in your wealth building journey, then we are looking for the people that are looking for us. It sounds simple, yet it's so many families are living paycheck to paycheck, and that hamster wheel of life, kids going, home to an empty house, being raised by the TV, right, and TikTok, and living for that one. I swear, how many families I sit down with and they can't remember the last family vacation they took. And if they have one, they're just living for that one family holiday every, 3 to 4 years, maybe. In my opinion, that's not prospering. That is not what God planned for us. So in our membership, I'll share with you briefly, we have a framework that we've created. We start with the foundation of where are you today? Where are you financially? Where are you spiritually? Where are you in your community? Do you have friends that support you in your journey of bettering yourselves? Sometimes does it mean that we don't continue to love the people that are closest to us, but sometimes we need to separate ourselves a little bit from that population, right? We help you really define goals about what is your destination. We help you find that financial freedom number, for example, coupled with, where are you looking to serve? Who do you want to serve? We work a lot on our mindset. Obviously, Dawnette is very brilliant in this world. She's going to tell us about a workshop she has coming up this weekend, actually, about or early next week about that. We believe in the Kingdom Wealth Formula. We continue to educate you and help you do that, and build your kingdom community. Part of our process is some people just use the Better platform. Some people actually take the step to get licensed, like many of our coaches are licensed life and health professionals. So we can help you along the journey with that as well. Okay. These are just some examples of some of the affiliate programs that you can participate in and be paid on. If you know anyone that needs a trust, for example, so many families, it's insane how many families are unprotected, right? By simply referring them to our referral platform, that could be, $100 to $200 in your pocket. We also have the student loan forgiveness that we talked about earlier this week. That's $200 to $300 in your pocket. The debt forgiveness, that obviously depends on how much debt that the consumer does have, but there's a percentage there. We talked a little bit about the ERC tax credit and the health insurance plans that we offer for the people that do choose to get their license. The income is really unlimited at that point because, I have, we have a colleague that just got paid $100,000 on helping one family, and we can also sit down with a single mom, like I do often, and help them save $100, right? So there's really a very wide variety of people that we can serve. So, friends, if this is resonating with you, make sure we'll put the link in the chat for our membership. And I should share what that is. You have a couple of options. You can do either let me find it. Where is it here? Oh, there it is. Okay. You can either do $33 a month, which is our membership cost. You can cancel at any time. And then for those of you that are the budget-minded people, we also offer a discount for our annual membership as well. So Donis, if you could go ahead and put that in the chat for people, you will also be getting a link for this. Think about it, pray about it, and if it resonates with you, we're excited to have you. Next week, we're actually going to be diving in a little bit more into our How Money Works book club. And the following week, we have one of my friends, it's a guest speaker, who's going to be giving us a crypto lesson about the crypto space and how to invest in crypto. So it continues to be fun. So, my friends, I am excited to bring Dawnette to the stage. Dawnette, I want to first just share a little bit about, ask you to share a little bit about your own journey, in your entrepreneurial career. She's got this really amazing community that she's created called Your Money on Purpose Coaching. And she serves small business owners, emerging business owners in many different ways. Dawnette and I have had some great conversations. We actually met through a mutual networking group that we're both part of. And it's just a great example of, she has an event coming up next week locally here in California, and she sent me the flyer for it. And the friend that was doing the workshop, I know Raven, and it's just such an example of how God works. I love how I continue to meet friends of friends, and we all just continue to grow together. So Dawnette, share a little bit about your background first of all, and then we're excited to learn from you today.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hi everyone. Welcome. Thank you guys for coming. Happy Friday. So my name is Dawnette Palmore. My background is I was a domestic engineer for over 20 years. Does anybody know what a domestic engineer is? It's a stay-at-home mom. That's
I love that. I have not heard that before. That is awesome. Somebody
right.
write that down. Domestic engineer. I love that.
So I was the domestic engineer for over 20 years. I was so blessed to be able to stay at home with my children. I homeschooled them. We learned together a lot about entrepreneurship. They helped me. They've worked with me. They have worked for me, and we've grown a lot together. It's really cool now that I think about it. And I could talk a little. I actually have my story written into my presentation, so I'll just start sharing. How's that?
Awesome. Did I make you co-host? I wanted to make
I
sure.
have no idea, but something. Okay.
Okay. And remember, a couple of things that she's already said that I think is really fun to point out is, first of all, domestic engineer. I love that phrase. That's good. I'm gonna add that to my list of things I like to say. But you said, I love that you work with your children, you said, which is amazing. You have your children work for you, which we talk a lot about that when it comes to tax savings for everybody included. So love that. So okay, I'll give you the baton. I'll try not to butt in.
Oh, no. Please butt in. This is I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But so the topic that Lisa and I came up with was running your business like a business, because one, I know some of you guys already have a business, and then the people who are coming in, the opportunities that Lisa is presenting to you, you will be running your business, right? You're going to be purchasing and running your own business. So again, I am the owner and founder of Your Money on Purpose Coaching. So I've been a small business owner for over 23 years. Married the love of my life. We've been married 26 years. We have a blended family of 7 children, 3 grandchildren, 2 dogs, and 3 granddogs. So 5 of those children are mine. I learned to change my language, right? I call us bird launchers. We have successfully launched all of our children out into the world. So about 10 years ago, we were earning more money than we had ever earned, and I didn't know where any of it was going. We were in over $56,000 of debt, and that's after we had, been that hamster wheel of getting into debt, getting out of debt, getting in and playing that game, I guess, and not winning, obviously. We had no retirement, no savings of any kind, and we were teaching our children really bad habits with money. So I was like, I gotta do some research. I gotta figure out how to get out of this. And obviously I found a way, and I was able to course correct without a ton of stress or cutting out my entire lifestyle. So I put this system into place, and not only did we dig out of debt, but we have retirement, we have savings, and we just bought our second home. So that is super exciting. And our children also learned very valuable money skills that they've taken out with them in their lives. And like I said, I've worked with them. So we ran a coffee shop together. And then our youngest was 8 when I put them all on payroll. So they learned how to pay taxes. I did make them pay taxes, even though you don't have to. They did the give, save, spend. They opened checking accounts, and they learned how to manage their money very early. So in 2015, I actually launched my business, and it was called Proverbs Financial Coaching. And in 2022, I rebranded to Your Money on Purpose Coaching. And I also launched my podcast, Your Business on Purpose. You guys kind of get the theme, right? And so I'm a money coach that specializes in working with people with variable income. Or I tend to have a lot of male clients that are in sales. They'll have like a base pay, and then they have sales, and of course, like Lisa said, women business owners. So has anyone here heard of a money coach before? I can see part of you. Okay, everybody has, some haven't. Okay,
Yep.
so for
Hey,
those of you,
Dawnette, I wanted to just ask you, are there slides you're sharing?
yes, can you see them?
We just see the first one still. So
Oh yeah,
if it's
I'm still on there.
oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure if it was scrolling that was gonna be done.
What do you
Okay,
guys
gotcha.
Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. So a money coach is a personal trainer for your money, right? So money coaches provide personal guidance and support based on our clients' financial goals. And we really work at a holistic level, addressing not just the numbers, but almost really focusing 95% of the time on their behaviors around money, which is really, really important. And we help our clients to develop better money habits, overcome financial obstacles, and gain confidence in managing their money, um, so they can live a financially stress-free life. Because who wants to be stressed out about finances? Not me. Okay, did my slide change? Okay, so this is my awesome family. They are the reason I do everything that I do. And so something which most of us, I would say, I was not shown how to handle money. I wasn't even shown how to make money, believe it or not. I really had to figure everything out on my own, and everything I learned is from experience and my mentors. So it's make sure you guys have great mentors around you. If Lisa's your mentor, you're in good hands, but you want to have, I call wise counsel around you, these people in all these aspects of business and life and personal that can help build you up and guide you, right? Because we need that. So I really want to show my children that they can do anything that they want to do in this world. That they can live a financially stress-free life, that they can live a financially independent life. They can dream big. And one thing I love to say is do all the things, right? We want to do all the things. How do we do it? Okay. So today, we're going to talk about running your business like a business. So this includes things like assessing your financial health, building a financial plan, and then building savings into that. And savings is a lot of things, and I'll kind of dive into that a little bit later. So this is an interactive workshop, which means please ask questions, please answer questions, and I'm going to have you do a little bit of work. Any questions about that? Cool. Okay. So the reason I came up with this is because, as Lisa said, I do coach a lot of small business owners, and these are some of the things I see that they need to change in their business that they're not currently doing. Okay, so the very first thing we have to do is to assess our finances, right? So what does our financial health look like? We need to take a look at our money and really find out, what is it doing? I think Lisa said this earlier. Where is it going? What's coming in? What's going out, right? And this really, the first step is to identify all sources of income for your business or your businesses. And for those of you that maybe don't have a business yet, I'm not sure if that applies to anybody here, but you could do these, you can follow these same principles with your personal finances as well. So, there's different ways that we can have our businesses set up, right? Um, does anybody have like an S corp, a LLC?
I have an S corp. Yeah.
Okay.
I have two actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Okay.
And one thing I wanted to mention also, Dawnette, do you guys do, for example, in our community, we talk about there's income that has a due date, and then there's income that has no due date. So for example, do you guys talk about, like there tends to be, there's people, for example, that are in retirement,
Mm.
and maybe they're already drawing a Social Security benefit, which will have no due date, So I think I'm just curious your thoughts about, because as you said, when you have that variable income, sometimes it's really difficult to plan accordingly, right? So
Yes.
I'm just curious your thoughts about around that.
So can
And
you tell me more about what you mean by due date?
yeah, due date means you're always going to get it. The
Okay,
things
so it's
that
like
are
a fixed
typically
income.
included would be Social Security, or maybe if you're one of the lucky few that has a pension, for example, or maybe a business that you knew was always going to pay you something, some sort of payout monthly.
So, basically, when the way that I have it, which I'm going to show you guys the worksheet I use, you just put it
Mhm.
in there and then plan from that.
Okay.
Right, so
Okay.
we have fixed income, same like expenses, which we're gonna talk about in a minute. We could have a fixed income and a variable income, right?
Yep. Okay. Super.
Awesome. Okay, so as we know, it's very important to understand our total income so that we can effectively manage it, right? So think about all the different incomes that you get. If it's just one, just write that down. But if your business, I know like Lisa, I have a corporation as well, and you can run DBAs under the corporation. So you could have several businesses in the corporation, and then you have all these streams of income. Do you have yours set up that way, Lisa? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
So it saves a lot of headache and tax money and accountant money. But so you could have all these different streams of income, but you want to know, where's my money coming from? Where is this income coming from? Maybe you get if your income varies, let's say you can think about, for the sake of the exercise, okay, I made this much last year and divide it by 12, and that'll kind of give you an average of what you make per month. Does that make sense? Okay. And if you get a base pay plus commission, you can do the same thing with the commission. What's the average commission you get with your base pay per month? If you want to make it easy, since we just kind of finished the first quarter of the year, you can use the first quarter as well. But this is, again, for the sake of the exercise. So sorry. So I'll give you just a minute to jot down your income. Like, where is your income coming from? Do you have rental properties? Do you have dividends? Do you draw out of your stocks? Do you draw out of your insurance? What does that kind of look like?
And this is a good exercise because it was something they had homework on earlier in the week.
Oh,
So they
very
should
cool.
have
Okay.
it. If
Now
they
there's
did their
no
homework,
excuse.
they should have it ready to go, right? How many people did their homework? I'm constantly looking at my homework and redoing it every month. aren't we, Dawnette, as business owners?
Yes, and you need to be doing that, right? If you guys are writing chats to me, let me move this so I can see it over here.
Yeah, one of the things
Okay.
that one of our coaches talked about earlier this week was having a date with your money, honey, she calls it. And we
Yes.
are our own honey, right?
Yes, you could be your own sugar daddy or your own sugar mama, right?
Yes, I love that.
All right. So everybody got that. It looks like everybody's probably, I know we only got like a half an hour, so we're gonna have to move a little quick. Okay, so then the next thing comes, right? We have to talk about our expenses. And there's two types of expenses, like we said earlier. There's the fixed expenses and variable. So what is a fixed expense? Anybody?
Cell phone, car payment.
Oops, sorry about that. Right. So they're expenses that don't change, same every single time. What would be a variable expense?
Groceries.
Expense that changes.
Yes.
Mhm.
And
Like-
I would argue about groceries because you can actually have a fixed expense, a fixed amount every month.
Credit
That's a
card,
good point. Yeah.
credit
Yep.
card bill.
Yes, the credit card bill. Yep. Electric and water. Yes. Yes. I love it. All of those things. So, the reason I bring this up is because I would say variable is also something that fluctuates 1 to 4 times a year, right? So, I really have my clients look at their expenses on an annual basis and not a monthly basis, because that's really how we spend our money if we stop and think about it in our business and our personal. And these things tend to really throw people off because they're not usually like a small amount. So we have like Christmas, right? That's a huge expense. And people call it an emergency. It's not an emergency because we know that it's coming. Same thing in our business. We have licenses that are due, or we have membership fees, or if you have a S Corp or an LLC, you have a tax that you have to pay to your state for that, right? So these things come up, but they're big expenses and they could really mess up our whole plan that we've put together. So any questions about that?
I think this is a really great addition to what we already talk about, because it's a great thing to have your baseline with your fixed, but then your variable as well. And hopefully you also have some baseline in your income, or at least strive to at some point, right?
And we're going to talk about what happens when that doesn't happen, but yes. Okay, so guess what you're going to do? Take a moment and just jot down as many fixed expenses as you can think up off the top of your head and your variable expenses. And if you're doing this for your personal side, because maybe yet you don't have a business, a lot of things I see throw people off are things like we talked about Christmas or birthdays, anniversaries, those types of things that come up only a couple of times a year, but can really throw our spending off. I'll give you guys like 15 more seconds. I got to talk fast because of time. And we might be done way before, but we'll see. All right. Any questions about that? You guys got that all good and set? Awesome.
I
Okay.
want to just make a comment. This is an example of, for some people, you might be finding this a very easy exercise. Would you agree? Some people may be finding this very difficult. And it's just, and I just invite you all, it's just neutral. It gets to be neutral. It's just an exercise, right?
Yeah.
There's no judgment around it.
Nope.
And there's certainly not any right way to do it. But Dawnette is an expert. We brought her here because of that. So
Right, and
It's
we-
probably a good idea to take her guidance. And if we find it difficult, friends, this is where you get to make a note. You get to schedule a date with your money honey for later today or this weekend and
Yeah.
get tactical and practical about it, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're not doing this so that we can be hard on ourselves or judge us, but it's because we have goals and we have big dreams and things that we want to do. And if we don't get control of our finances, we're not going to be able to do that. Plain and simple. All right. Okay, so strategic financial planning. This is really a process that helps individuals and business set, organize and achieve their financial goals, right? So it involves creating a comprehensive strategy that considers a lot of things, right? But today we're just going to be talking about simply, what goes in and out of our accounts, right? So creating a strategy that considers that various aspects of our financial life. So we talked about income, we talked about expenses, savings, we have investments, right? And even thinking about the financial needs of our future as well. So the benefits of financial planning really include help us to improve our financial security, make better decisions, and increase the chances of actually attaining our long-term goals, the goals that we set. So creating a spending plan is crucial for managing our cash flow, maximizing our profits, and minimizing expenses, which of course leads to greater financial success. And as you guys hear, I do not use the word budget. I use the word spending plan because when people hear the word budget, they cringe, they hate it, it feels restrictive, all these things for most people. But really, we're making a plan for our money. This puts us back in control, and we get to say what we want to do with our money, right? Feels a little bit better, right? And I'm going to give you a quick story of an example of a client that I had. He was a real estate broker. And when I came in, he had 4 agents under him. His team had 4 people on it. So he was still small, but he was in debt. He was really running his business off his business line of credit. So it was like, oh, he paid it off and then he used it and then he paid it off. So it was like making this that hamster wheel, right? He had 2 of his agents who were taking draws from him, and the 2 other agents were doing okay. Through this whole process of coaching his whole team, so I came in and coached his team and I coached him. The 2 people who were taking draws, one of them actually ended up just leaving. He was like, this is not for me. I got to go. He unfortunately left about $30,000 worth of draws to the broker. The other one who was taking a draw actually went out, and it was so cool because he's like, I found something I love to do. I love to wait tables. It is so satisfying, and I get thank you, and he gets that praise he needs to keep doing a great job. Whereas sometimes in real estate, you just don't get that, right? Or it could be in anything. Sometimes we don't give enough praise to our waiters and waitresses either. But it gave him this fire to go back and really push through in the real estate business and pay off that debt to his broker and just thrive as a real estate professional. And the other 2 teammates that I was working with, they weren't really they were putting some properties up on their board and they were doing okay. But once they actually took a look at their finances and really got a grasp and clarity of where it was going and what they were doing, they knew what they had to do to make it to that next level, and they just went to work. And it was so cool to watch each one of these people grow. Some people, yeah, it weeds people out. It's, that happens. But what it did for this business owner was so incredible because he owed his dad like $150,000, and he had been barely making like interest payments to his dad. He was able to pay that off. Could you imagine the stress that relieved between their relationships? Has anybody ever lent someone money and then they really don't want to talk to you because they haven't paid you back? Yeah, it gets kind of weird. So can you imagine between, dad and son? That's kind of weird. He no longer had to use his business line of credit and he just started thriving and his business has soared. Um, you guys can look him up. His name is Aaron Clapper and he's with the Clapper Group out in Manhattan Beach, California. I mean, his office is just exploded and it's just the power of really gaining control of our finances and really making a plan. So all a spending plan is really just outlining our income and our expenses. I think Lisa said, have your honey money date and really the goal isn't to be so like obsessive over it. Like I got to look and see, but really like 15 minutes a month. You can work up to 15 minutes a month. Yep, it's going to take a lot more work in the beginning, but then you're just going back, kind of looking at your month. What's happening this month? How can I project? Do I have fixed income, variable income? What does that look like? Is there something I need to be planning for? Something come up? All that stuff. 15 minutes and you're done. I mean, does that sound nice? Right? Because we just want to kind of get this done and move on and enjoy the things that we can do with our money, right?
And I'm going to add to that
Yeah.
also. I think a really great exercise is also as you're going through, like we talked about earlier, friends, the 42 Gmail accounts I have. I'm being sarcastic. It's not that many, but those $6 there and the $12 there and but you'd be surprised how good it feels to think about, I told you just last month alone, I released $48 in annual or monthly fees. But you times that by 12, that's $576, right? It adds up. Every dollar, there's no dollar that's too small in the kingdom. It matters. God cares about it all, So give yourself that gift to take these, lessons that we're teaching
No,
and
I love
celebrate those wins, right? Celebrate the wins, right, Dawnette?
Yes, celebrate the wins. There's all kinds of ways you can celebrate without spending money if that's not what you want to do. If you're not in that position, there's lots of ways to celebrate. We want to celebrate those things. So, so we also do this because we need to know, what our expenditures, maintenance, marketing, administrative costs. There's so much things that there can be a lot of overhead to doing business, right? Some stuff isn't, some stuff is. But then, of course, there's the one that's very important, and that's paying yourself. And I find that a lot of small business owners are not paying themselves properly. So this is one of the reasons you need to have two plans. You need to have one for your personal finances and one for your business finances. And you should also be keeping those separate and not commingling them. And I just want to really take a moment to touch on this because I feel like it's very, very important, right? So one, we go into business to make money, right? And if we're not paying ourselves, we're going to eventually get burned out and we're going to quit. We're going to get discouraged. We're going to become desperate. Has anybody ever dealt with a desperate salesperson? Yeah, you run because you can smell it. Even if they're not like trying to give that energy, they do. Two, commingling can get you in big trouble with the IRS. Okay, I've had a client who was commingling her business and personal finances. She got audited not once but twice, and that cost stress. You have to pay somebody to go through that because who speaks IRS? Not me. And then you have to pay that person to go through it. So it's just extra stress, and it's better that when you get audited, everything is in order and you don't have to worry about anything. You'll have a smoother process. Another reason is you won't be able to tell if your business is really making money. If you got, your personal stuff running through your business, your business running through your personal, you're not going to know if your business is making money. And we won't really be able to tell what our business is costing us to run. How much does it cost for our business if we make no money? What does it cost to keep our doors open? We're not going to know because we got money going all over the place, right? So there are many strategies we can use to find out what we need to be paying ourselves and how to start to even start to pay ourselves, right?
And
And
Dawnette, I want to pop in here and just uh, comment on this because, one of the things I think that I see, and I'm curious your opinion about this, is people start a business more with a hobby mindset versus a true business builder mindset. And your business is going to feel like you treat it, it's going to thrive like you treat it or not thrive like you treat it, right? So I'm curious your thoughts about that because I find a lot of hobbyists as business owners,
yeah,
right?
yeah, that's very true. So, and I think it's not even that they think it's a hobby, but this is no offense to anybody, please, but they come in with an employee mindset. They
Oh,
don't
yes.
have a business mindset, and so they look at things differently. They think about things differently, and so that's why they need to have a really good mentor to help change that mindset, switch it, um, because in the eyes of the law, the business is a separate entity, and that's how you need to treat it. Make sure you
100%.
have a great tax
How
professional in
many
there.
did that resonate with, that employee mindset? We talk a lot about that in our community. Yeah, absolutely. I still suffer from it myself, friends. We all might have some lingering PTSD a little bit here. I know there's some of us that are still employees, so
And
it,
that's
it
okay.
takes time.
That's why
Yeah,
I don't want to
absolutely.
offend anybody, but it is a
Yeah.
different mindset. And I think as you become a business owner and make that transition, you're going to understand. Okay, so there are different tools, right? Different things we can use to keep track of. Um, yes, that's why you have a tax ID. Exactly, Monique. The best tool is the one that we use, right? So I don't care if you use an app, I don't care if you use pen and paper, whatever it is, use it. And that's the best thing. And so I know we only have like what, 5 more minutes? Okay.
5 minutes. Yep.
So let me show you real quick what I do at this point is I have someone be my volunteer and we do this together. But I will just show you what I use with my clients. And
Okay, yeah, we might not have enough time for volunteer, but don't you think we
yeah,
should
that's
have
what I'm
Dawnette
saying. I know
back?
we probably don't have enough
I
time,
think we
but
should have Dawnette come back, friends, and come in our weekly workshop and have her come give us some more lessons. Absolutely.
okay, so this is basically what I use. And what I love is we talked about, Lisa, I think one of your questions was when they what did you call it? Their pay. A due
Oh,
date. But
their
this is
no due date or their
yeah, yes.
first or their
So
due
this is
date.
where you can put this. And I know
Mhm.
like usually because this is a business spending plan, I would say, okay, income I get between the 1st and the 5th. This is it. Income I get between the 6th and the 12th would go here. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So then you would make your plan right here. What are the things that I need to be prepared for, right? And this is where the due date goes. So that helps us to be able to plan and allocate. So this is to allocate. So if we have, we know that the bookkeeper is due on the 1st, well, we're not getting paid till the 5th. So what are we going to do? Right? How are we going to make that work? This really helps us again to allocate and figure out where, sometimes people are heavy with their bills on one week or something, and you can actually negotiate those and ask your people to move the date, which will help kind of offset if your income fluctuates and maybe you get paid more on one time and more on another. Then you can actually track. And one of the reasons I love this is because it'll hold us accountable, right? Because this is what we said we wanted to do, but this is what we actually did. So then we could say, well, I went over, I'm not sure why, let me go find out why. Or maybe I need more money in my marketing dollars. Where am I going to get that? How do I make that happen? And this can also tell us, you know, what do I need to do to get more money in my business, right? Because it's not all about cutting things out, but what do I need to do to get more money coming through my business so that I can do this and do that, so I can pay myself, so I can pay myself my full payment, right? And then we have down here, boop, total income, total expenses, and then what we have left and what we need to be doing with that. So this is going to tell us, guess what? I could drop this much into retirement. I could drop this much into my insurance product. I could drop this into that or that. So it can also help us to plan, right? Hey, I need a new computer, or I need to, I want this new business opportunity I want to be involved in. I could put money away for that. So these numbers tell us a lot, right? Okay, so that was like,
We get to know our numbers, right? They don't lie. Numbers are numbers.
our
They're-
numbers
they're-
do not lie. I always say the bank statements don't lie, right?
Right. Yeah,
Unless there was fraud, but okay. So I know we just got a
absolutely.
few minutes. I got a couple more things. I said I wanted to go over savings, and this is really a key component in our finances, right? And I left this for last because we have to build up to everything we talked about, right? We have to put all these pieces into place so that we can do these other things. And like I said, I really encourage you to look at your finances on an annual basis and not just a monthly basis, because you spend money that way and it'll give you a true picture of how you spend money and what you really have to work with. And so what really catches us off guard is not the state of the economy, but it's the state of our finances because we didn't prepare. And so putting all these pieces together is going to help you be prepared and be able to pivot when you need to. And when we're not under financial stress, we're able to make better decisions. So as you see here, I have 3 types of savings. One is a short-term and long-term. So short-term savings are the things that come up. I would say short terms of 1 to 3 years. It's up to you, however you want to define that. So, these are licensing fees, memberships, taxes, property taxes, those types of things. That's what would be in a short-term savings account. Then you have long-term. What would long-term be? Well, it could be anything. It could also be a roof on your house, right? That's like, if you could save $30,000 over 30 years, that's a lot better than just coming up with $30,000 at once, right? You're going to probably be able to choose differently at that time because you have the money set aside. You're not stressing about it. You're just like, okay, well, this is the roof I want. This is the money I have. I can do that. It makes things a lot better. Emergency fund is for emergencies. Emergency is an unexpected event or circumstance, right? It's not, oh, Christmas is here. Oh, it's my mom's birthday. That's not an emergency. An emergency could be, drop my phone in the toilet. It happens. I don't know how many times it's almost happened to me because I've had it in my back pocket and I'm like, thank God it didn't fall in the toilet. That's an emergency, right? And we need to save for those things because they happen. It's part of life. That's why grandma said to save for a rainy day. The Hills and Valleys Fund is something I use for business. Lisa, you were talking about evening that the valley out, right? So when you're having a really good month, you want to put aside for that. So when your month is kind of down, maybe under what your bottom line is, you're going to be able to pull from that fund and not have to stress out about where am I going to get this money? Am I going to have to borrow from here or there? But it's going to give you a smoother ride. And how you figure that out is make sure that you got your spending plan in order. And then of course we have savings to grow wealth or to invest, right? Those are some important things for our future. Okay, so if you guys want a copy of the spreadsheet I shared today, just scan the QR code. If you want to connect with me, I'm on all the platforms at Your Money on Purpose. My podcast is Your Business on Purpose. And Lisa, I think you wanted to talk about a little bit about my giveaway.
Yeah, definitely. Tell us more about that.
I'll give you guys a minute to scan that. So the giveaway it's just a super mini course called 3 Steps to Making Your Money Behave. So it kind of dives into a little bit about what we talked about today, but a little bit slower. And you'll be able to pause and do the work. So that's really what that is. So take advantage of it. Go get it. Does anybody need me to leave this up?
I love it. Such goodness.
Okay, fabulous. Stop sharing.
And I wanna just also encourage you to take advantage of the, Dawnette has clearly created some beautiful, she's gifted. It so complements what our community is about. And Dawnette and I have been talking about working more together. She's thinking about getting her license, right, Dawnette? And as timing permits, right? So this is just such an example, my friends, of just so many women are really taking control, and the men that love us, Patrick, by the way, it's been such a nice to have a little male energy in our community this week. So Dawnette, thank you, honey, so much for sharing your genius with us and your story. You have a beautiful family. Love your furry friends. We're gonna have to get together since we're so close. Could maybe take our furry friends on a walk and talk or something.
Absolutely.
I love it. Everybody, jazz hands for Dawnette. Thank you, darling. I appreciate you so much. Good luck this week. I was actually texting Raven, maybe seeing if I can come and see you girls after your event on, is it Tuesday?
Yes, our event's on Tuesday.
Because I live so close, so I'll keep you posted. Hopefully I can at least come and say hi and give you guys a hug.
Yeah, that would be awesome. If you can give me a moment, Monique needs the link. It's just gonna take me,
Oh,
just
yeah.
go ahead and
Yeah,
close up, but
absolutely.
Monique needs a link. She wasn't able to scan.
Yeah,
I just gotta
absolutely.
find the link, so give me a second.
Okay. And as she's doing that, friends, let's have some fun with our drawing. I also want to share with you two other quick things. So you're going to have some options after today. You're going to be getting, we shared with you about our membership. We meet every Tuesday at 12 Pacific. So we'd love to have you continue to join us if that resonates with you. I'm also opening up my calendar. To help you all, each of you, I'm going to provide each of you a session. If you want to get some help with the strategy of your better marketing plan. Okay, so I'm opening up my calendar to each of you. Create some space to get on my calendar, and I will do my best to help you. Picture, I want you to come to that meeting prepared. What I'd like you to do is share with me a little bit about your community, the people in your life, you're a little bit about maybe your technical abilities, because there is some technical skills that if you have them, it's a little bit easier, right? But just consider this a gift from me, to give you whatever I can to help you pursue this business and have the most success with us. So Dawnette, did you find the link that you were looking for? Were you able to add
It's
that?
in there.
Okay, super.
Thank you.
So make sure you get time on my calendar. Come and join us in our membership, if that makes sense. And in our membership, we also offer, there's, the marketing strategy call with me. We have support from some of our other coaches to help you actually launch your better business. And then we have obviously our weekly wealth creator sessions as well. Okay. And I just remind you, friends, if you were drawn to this workshop, you diehards that have been with us every day, we so appreciate you. We see you, we recognize your effort. And we know that you're not here for any purpose other than that. We believe God's called you to be with us. So I'm going to pass the baton. Who's doing our last drawing? We have $100 gift card to give away today, which is always fun to give presents. I love to receive presents and I love to give presents, by the way.
Can you
John,
make
is
me
it
a
you?
host, please?
Oh, it's
It's
June.
June.
Okay, perfect. We have missed you this week, my dear. Welcome back.
I know. Thank you. All right, let me share my
Patrick, where
screen.
are you in the country, by the way? Can you unmute yourself? Patrick has been a very good student this week. He's been with us every single day. I want to get to know you, sir.
I'm sorry, were you asking me to unmute myself?
Yes, I wanted, you've been our Lone Ranger gentleman to this week. Where are you in the country and how did you hear about us?
I live up in, it's called Camino, California, or Apple Hill, Northern California.
Okay.
I'm about 45 minutes from South Lake Tahoe off Highway 50.
Oh, gorgeous. And you came in from one of our guest speakers. Who did you know?
I can't remember right now.
Well, I have it somewhere. I'll figure it out. It's always fun to meet a new friend. It's been nice having you. So let's make sure we get some time together, okay?
I want to do that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, super. I love the wheel this month, June. So beautiful. Who's our lucky winner?
Will Bach.
Will Bach. Awesome. Is Will here today? We did say you have to be present to win.
No, I
but-
pulled in all the guests from,
Oh, so everybody, okay. We'll make sure we get
but
in
I
touch
thought
with them then.
on the Friday we,
That's right. You're right. You're right. Right. Okay. Well, hey, friends, this has been so fun. What an absolute blessing this week has been for me. We are excited to continue to get to know you. For my friends that I always get to see that are here every month, it's just such a blessing to get to see you. Dawnette, thank you, my dear, for sharing your genius with us. Everybody, take action. We're excited to help support you in whatever way we can. Make sure you remember that you are God's very, very best idea, and you are custom designed, and you get to live life to the absolute fullest. So we're so blessed to know you. Blessings, everyone, in this amazing life journey. We'll see you soon.